Hi guys and welcome back. So as promised, here is week 8 Ice Age. And I'm actually very happy with how this piece came out after the disaster that I had with Erie. So today was just a great day. We have a beautiful sunny day here in Finland. It's about -19 outside. And I went out to the grocery store and it's just pure beautiful sunshine and the snow glitters on the ground. It's gorgeous when it's like this. So it gave me lots of inspiration. And actually, to paint this, I actually changed my location in my apartment here to paint. I decided to paint for my bedroom this time by the big window that we have to get some natural light. And I have to say the natural light looks so much better on video. It's such a pity that in my living room, it's kind of dark. I mean, we have a giant window on one side, on the balcony side, but there's a sofa in the way, so I can't exactly put a desk there. And the place where I have my desk now and my dining room table, there's no real natural light. I have to use lamps and such, and it's obviously a very different effect. But I loved how these came out, how they looked. Now, to explain why I did this image for the prompt of Ice Age. So I was trying to think a little bit outside the box here. And everybody, when they think of Ice Age, they think, past. And considering that we have climate change as a very real current situation that is also going to be in our future, I decided to tackle that topic. So what would happen if we had a nuclear Ice Age? And so what that means is if, say for instance, a nuclear war broke out and we basically destroyed everything and ruined our atmosphere, and then we have basically a dark, clouded sky. We've had it once before, long time ago in history, and they think that's part of what caused the extinction of the dinosaurs and so on and so forth. It's a nuclear winter, basically. And if we have one of those, if, say for instance, there's a nuclear war that happens here, or if one of the volcanoes erupt, like Yellowstone. That's a very big volcano, and I actually think that that was what caused the nuclear winter in the past. So there's a very real threat there, and with our political climate as well. So I just tried to use that as inspiration for this piece. I know it's a very heavy topic, but I try to picture the future, if there are any survivors, and what the sky would look like. So I obviously used ink washes for this piece, just entirely ink washes, and I love using ink washes. So I made the sky very dark and cloudy. The beautiful thing about this ink that I'm using, it's called Noir, and Encore Noir, and it's from France, and it has this effect where there's like this blue and brown and very light, like almost yellow tint that comes through. So it makes it look like this very cloudy sky with, sunshine behind trying to break through. And I thought it was just beautiful. It was exactly the effect that I was hoping for. I didn't know if I could pull it off, considering how badly things had gone with Erie, but I was lucky, and it worked out exactly how I wanted it to look. So I first did the background, and I was debating, should I make them in color or not, but then I decided the whole point of this is to basically unify the theme, and they can't be all bright and colorful if they're experiencing this kind of new Ice Age. And so I still wanted to show that even though things might be terrible and kind of apocalyptic in this future Ice Age, that kids still find a way to enjoy the small things, because I think that's part of what being human is that no matter how bad it gets, we find a way to just enjoy the small things. So as part of this Ice Age, naturally, the temperatures are going to drop quite horrendously because there's no sun penetrating the clouds from above, and therefore the ground freezes and we get constant snowfall and so on. And even though the adults in this scenario might hate it and really think it's the apocalypse for the kids, snow is snow, and living in a country like Finland where, you know, expect snow every winter, no matter how like grisly the weather is outside, how gray when it starts to snow, the kids are always excited. Even though it happens every year, they're still excited. And I just imagine that it'd be the same in this future. So I decided to paint them in gray washes as well to match this apocalyptic Ice Age feeling. And it would just be their gestures and their facial expressions that would give away any kind of joy or hope for this young generation. I'm sorry if you hear background noises, it's my cats. They're going crazy. But yeah, so I just was so happy how it was coming together. I guess it was just, I was in such a good mood, I was relaxed. And I felt far more confident with this piece than I did with the eerie one. And I liked my idea behind this, the premise behind this. And I really think that it turned out well. So the two kids here are holding their arms up. Oh, there goes crazy kitty time. They're chasing each other around here. But both of my characters are holding their hands up expectantly for the flakes of snow that are coming down. And despite the fact that, you know, they've expected the snow now for so long because it's a continuous thing in their world, it still is magical. Because even for me now, I've lived here 8 years and the snow still has not lost its magic for me. And in summertime, or at least in the fall, when it's really gray and dark, I do look forward to the snow because it tends to brighten things up. So I like to think that that's what these kids think, that snow means that in their extremely gloomy, dark gray world, there will be a little bit more light, and perhaps they can go sledding and have fun and build snowmen, something to take their minds off of the situation. So yeah, this idea came from a very heavy topic, but I try to pump a little joy into it and hope, because that, I feel, is the human spirit, that we do try to find hope in some really terrible situations. That's how we get through. And everything was cooperating. There was no bleeding this time. I used different paper. This is a much thicker watercolor paper, and yeah, with the ink I've never really had that problem as long as I paint from light back into dark, and I don't do any dark pieces first because then it will bleed, and I've learned my lesson from last October. And so now I feel like I'm more prepared doing these types of things for Inktober. And also, as I've said a few times in the past, this kind of practice is great because actually my story for Lucy, there are several scenes that are going to be in ink washes, so the more practice, the better for me to be able to get those right the way that I would like them to look. And so yeah, I love these two little characters. In my head, they're siblings, and they're outside on some hill somewhere enjoying the first blanket of snowfall. What do you guys think? Do you guys enjoy the snow? How would you feel if this kind of world happened, which the way things are going, it just might. But would you, if you were a kid growing up in that kind of world, be like these two and just try to find the good moments, enjoy what you can out of it? Or do you think you would hate it, you'd be depressed, you would think it really is the apocalypse, the end of days? I'd like to think that I would try to find good moments, you know, in a situation like that. But maybe that's just me trying to be an optimist. But yeah, so now we're coming to the hardlining part, which I always think makes the characters pop. I love adding that. I've lately just been hardlining after painting rather than before. And also with the Eerie, I hardlined before. Maybe that had something to do with it. I'm not even sure. It might have had an effect on why things were bleeding. I have to test that out. But these days I tend to paint first and then hardline after, so that if I tend to paint outside of the original pencil line, it's no big deal because then I can just hardline the new line. And also you don't lose the vibrancy of the line under any kind of paint if you do it this way around, I feel. But on occasion I still like to hardline once in a while before I paint. if I don't want the ink to be so strong or, you know, contrasting so much or sticking out. But yeah, so that's basically all I have to say about this piece as well. Like I said, I'm super happy with it. I really liked my concept. I was very proud of it. And hopefully you guys like it too. Let me know in the comments, and you know, any questions or any comments you have about your thoughts on, you know, a futuristic Ice Age. You know, let me know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. And yeah, so enjoy the rest of the weekend, guys. So this is going to be the last video for today, Saturday. Tomorrow my Inspired by video is still going up. There are 2 more left, so tomorrow's and then next Sunday's. So be on the lookout for those. I hope you guys have been enjoying that series as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and drop a like if you have a second. And keep an eye out on my Facebook and my Etsy shop. There are going to be some big changes coming your way very soon. So have a great weekend, guys. I hope you guys have a sunny weekend just like we're having here, and I will catch you guys next time. All right, bye, guys.